This video is real. I have the has the VA serial number on it. I have the email confirmation with the serial number on it. And I have the email confirmations for the serial numbers for all the other ones as well, over years. I started, after years of thinking going to different states and different VAs would fix the problem. When Dr. Shannon Barrow-Eyes in Louisiana did what she did to me, she messed me up so bad. She put me on a medication that I still have issues with my testicles tingling every time I get triggered PTSD. What they did to me was so bad that I had to go to the ER in Louisiana because I thought I was dying. Turned out I was having an extreme anxiety attack from all the gaslighting and abuse from the VA. I moved here to Illinois to start over and have a better life. It started happening to me immediately here. It's taken me all this time to discover that they were trying to take me off of Depakote and put me on lamotrigine to adjust my medication for my mental health condition. Only for me to really discover that all lamotrigine really is for is to cover up Depakote. It's a cover-up medication. This is not the pharmaceutical company's fault. This is the VA's fault. This is 100% the VA's fault. Dr. Jeff Smith recorded calling me here in Illinois from Colorado to cover it up, trying to get me to email him the evidence so he could use it to his advantage. Now, I have an official copy of it on DVD from the VA, providing they, didn't go in the system and try to delete it. Because they send me documents from Colorado and Illinois, both, at the same time, across state lines, breaking a federal law. What is the VA federal or is it state? That's a convenient problem, isn't it? It's convenient that it's together and separate at the same time when it becomes convenient for the government. So I'm proving it. I have the data. I know it's true. I'm getting better. I've only been getting better. I'm down more than 30 pounds, but physically 30 pounds. I haven't been taping or anything because it's been a struggle for me to get this far. I'm sure a lot of it's muscle mass gain back as well. It's a balancing act. I'm eating right. I'm down 2 shirt sizes. I'm eating the way I used to eat before the VA tried to save me from myself. It doesn't matter how healthy I am, I'm going to need sleeping medication. I'm in severe pain from the military. I've had other shit happen to me in my life and I'm getting older. I'm in fucking pain all the time. Don't use my stoicness that was ingrained into me as a child. Starting with my father who was in the Navy, then also me going into the military, and then getting jobs in engineering and senior positions because of my military career opened those doors for me. I'm as decorated as you can get in the military in peacetime. I'm an honorable soldier. Even as I was leaving, I was getting an Army Accommodation Medal. They were even trying to get me to re-enlist for 3 more years to stay in Hawaii. They don't do that for everybody. But when I'm trying to tell the VA this, when I'm trying to get help for a real condition, that I know what the problem is, and nobody does any research, they don't even listen to my sister, who has since disowned me because they messed me up so bad that she couldn't even deal with me anymore. VA is destroying our lives. Watch this video. All of you should be ashamed in yourselves. Whatever problems we're having with veterans, it's every one of you guys' fault, I can assure you.
Welcome to your VA Video Connect session. Your private and secure video session will begin when your VA care team joins. Please treat your visit as if you were seeing your provider in person. Please dress appropriately, do not drive or use alcohol or other substances, or engage in other. Welcome to the conference.
see, it's Dr. Perkowski.
Mhm.
We're going to catch up with you next. I know it's been a couple of months, I'm thinking, or roughly close to a couple of months that we last spoke with each other. I heard some mix-up with the appointment times than last time, and then so sorry about that. Otherwise, we left the meds as is. We're trying a smaller dose of the hydroxyzine, and we're only using the zolpidem and the hydroxyzine, and that seemed to be working out okay, as I remember. Otherwise, we went from there. How are things, I guess?
Well, I mean, when these things start, we're supposed to start with verification, correct? You're supposed to verify who I am. So we should probably do that, right? We haven't done that for, visits. I know, because I haven't recorded. So we should probably verify that I am who I am, right?
Okay, all right. Can I get your last four on your birthday? All right.
So, no, I'm not taking hydroxyzine anymore. I stopped all the medications, as I informed you last time.
Okay.
So, I'm trying my best to be as polite about this as possible. You almost fucking killed me. Okay? I need you to digest that in your mind. I need you to psychologically adjust yourself for what you did to me. Because it wasn't just you. It was every doctor in the chain, the entire system, this entire time. Okay? So, all the medications I've been on, I've been addicted to. Because I was forced on them. And then I was forced into making sure that I took them through fear. And even you tried forcing me to go back on the medication when I knew it was the wrong decision. These things kill people. Psychological abuse and gaslighting, trying to convince me I had a disorder and a disease for 9 years that I didn't have, that I was fighting to tell you that I didn't have, caused me more problems. Now I have PTSD, which is more of a disability, because I think I am kind of controlling it. But the level I have it, I did not have until the VA tried to save me from myself. Now, I realize that all of you have degrees and you think that you guys are doctors and you're smarter than all of us, but some of us are legitimately rocket scientists in the military. Some of us are actually very intelligent. Some of us actually have to take tests and prove that we can do the job we can do before we can even enlist for it. That's how serious it is. Okay? So, while everybody's lowering up and trying to protect themselves from getting harmed, for 9 years I've been trying to figure out a way to not have to do that. And I've gone through the struggles of wanting every one of you in prison and hung for treason or for abuse and murder of veterans. Right? So veterans are being hurt. The VA machine likes to cover things up, because when a mistake of this magnitude is made, even when you guys admit it, you don't know what to do. Right? I've been swimming, biking, lifting, exercising. I just finished doing 2 hours of stretching and meditation. I'm down 30 pounds, 2 shirt sizes. Last night I stopped the hydrochlorothiazide because I'm fairly certain my high blood pressure is also from the abuse and the fact that I'm in physical pain all of the time. And whenever I have anxiety triggered from the PTSD, because it causes me to have high blood pressure. So whenever I get this way, I can go exercise or do something and fix the problem naturally. I've changed my complete diet to go back to the way I was before the VA in Colorado tried to save me from myself. I'm a very healthy, conscious person. I never used to drink until the VA did to me what they did to me. I went to them for sleeping medication, and the next thing I know, I'm being diagnosed with bipolar and beat the shit out of psychologically to fix a disorder I never had in the first place. These medications were causing me to behave in a way that I did not want to behave. I'm finally getting to the point, I think, in the last few days, it feels like maybe the medication is finally working itself out of my system, because I've been doing this for months now, right? And I had to do this on my own. Because for years, the VA has been filling my record up and the government's entire system up with Jason's crazy, he has psychological disorders, he has a personality disorder, which Dr. Salinas put out heavy-handed from me talking to her once. Now, I need you to know from my point of view, lamotrigine is a cover-up medication for Dalprovex. Dalprovex is some nasty shit. Hydroxyzine is some nasty, nasty shit. It actually causes the problems that they're supposedly trying to fix with it. Now, I'm not parsing who's to blame for it, right? I'm sure the chemists and the pharmaceutical companies who came up with these medications were making them for a specific reason, to use as training wheels to help people and guide them down the right track. The rest of it's psychological. I never got that help from the VA. I had to start going out of the VA to get it. And even they were trying to cover it up because they realize now that my hemochromatosis may have been a misdiagnosis as well because the medications caused me to have issues, which then caused me to have hemochromatosis. So I'm collecting all that data and that information, trying to figure out what's really going on. Because this isn't just about me trying to slay everybody. This is about me trying to understand what the hell happened to me, trying to fix my life. I'm 48 years old. Most of my life has been vanquished because of the VA. I was being destroyed for being someone who honorably served my country. I had a perfect service record. I made a rank in 3 years that's impossible to make in 3 years without special waivers. I'm not making up my story at all. And I've been getting treated like that way for years. And then once the problem happened, they realized they made a mistake. They went into immediate cover mode. And just like you tried to do, every doctor since then, whenever the problem gets too big and they realize they're screwing up, they try to pass me off onto another doctor by being obstinate, which is what happened with Dr. Barwise in Louisiana. What she did to me before I started recording is the reason I started recording. At that point, I knew the bullshit was so thick that there was no other way to resolve the problem. Now, going back, I had a conversation with Mr. John Floyd, who was put with me after Dr. Barwise. Now, Mr. Floyd and I were having a conversation. One of the first conversations we had, he sees my cats and they're both female. And somebody had apparently told him that I was a misogynist, that I hated women. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. Okay? So, Dr. Barwise and Dr. Gina Simpson, I'm fairly certain had something to do with that because of the way they were treating me in Louisiana. So, the problem is that I moved 3 times. I lost my family. I lost a good chunk of my life. I lost the ability to pursue a woman I was interested in a long time ago because the VA screwed me up. Then I go to Louisiana to get help, and it happens to me there. I've been getting judged for shit that the Colorado VA did to me. Now, the mistake was that when I came here, the same problem continued to happen because everybody just kept giving me medications without verifying that I needed them or not. I'm actually at the point now, so I got this letter asking me about my rescue inhaler for asthma. I'm starting to realize more and more that the rescue inhaler has been mostly to help me deal with extreme anxiety. It got so bad in Louisiana from the VA that I went to the ER in the middle of the night because I thought I was dying. I didn't know. I went to a cardiologist in Louisiana. I had no idea that anxiety could make someone feel that way. That's how bad the VA made it. So I'm trying to protect myself from the VA. I'm a scientific type of open-minded person who likes to live a good lifestyle. And in my struggle of trying to convince the VA that they're just wrong, it triggered all my training from the military, which now I have PTSD from. It's a disability because I'm not just erratically reacting to things. I'm realizing it's going on, and I'm trying to correct those things by doing the things that fix them. But I can't fix them if none of you acknowledge what really happened to me. If I can't get through to you, then it can't get through to the rest of the VA and the government to understand, because our politicians aren't doctors, right? And medicine makes mistakes. Even though Dr. Zhang over here at Illinois Cancer Care acknowledged that he verified that I had this special rare form of hemochromatosis, The numbers in my blood right now don't lie. I'm getting better, and I'm not having these problems anymore. Therefore, the medications caused me to become a person. I started eating a lot. I started not taking care of myself. It took me forever to get you guys to give me Zolpidem, which is the Ambien, for years, for sleeping, which is helping me. So when I couldn't get that because you were afraid I was going to swallow the bottle and kill myself, I resorted to drinking. And I never used to drink. I can tell you right now, Dr. Perkowski, I don't ever want to drink again. I've never wanted to drink. And I did some testing randomly throughout the last several months of drinking 1 or maybe 2 beers. And I get sick immediately. I don't feel good the next day. I never wanted to drink. And I was so desperate to sleep that I was drinking to sleep. So now we have a problem of that we gave me all these medications for so many years and abused me and caused me to have other medical problems that I didn't need to be resolved. I need Ambien. I need lidocaine gel. I need lidocaine patches. So far, I've been spending $100 on the gym membership. I bought an inversion table, and I returned the lumbar stretching, lower back stretching machine to the VA because that one didn't work for me. So I had to spend money on my own. I've purchased hundreds of dollars in exercise and massage equipment. And I'm also having to pay for a professional athletic stretcher who happens to be a veteran outside of the VA because it's something else I need. I went and saw him once, and it was like a miracle. So going all the way back to the military, I think my legs, my surgery, everything was a misdiagnosis because I hurt myself in the military in basic training, which was then causing me to have neuropathy and other issues in my legs, which then caused me pain. So now, if I don't do all these things that I'm doing right now, it's a full-time job just to stay sane and not be in pain and to feel better. I started riding my bike again, which all of you guys should know by now because I've been sharing it online. I haven't been making this a mystery. I want you guys to know what's going on with me because I know that until I have a way to prove this, you guys are not going to understand it. Right? This is how medicine progresses. This is how medicine gets better. Is when we make big mistakes like this, and you have someone like me who can help you figure out why, and is trying to be reasonable about it. I don't want it to be covered up anymore. I don't want everybody to be obstinate about it. I want my disability, and I need it backdated, way backdated now, because I'm starting over at 48, and I'm at a huge disadvantage now. I've been blacklisted because what the VA in Colorado did to me got my gun rights taken away because it's too damn easy for them to do it by somebody who's not qualified to do it. They weren't qualified to be in my head. I'm trying to be reasonable. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt your family. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want everybody to learn from this because I've learned this problem goes all the way through. Right? This is just in the VA, it's in the civilian world. Everybody reacted to a problem they didn't understand. We overreacted, which is what humanity does, right? Engineering terms, a PID controller increases the temperature and adjusts for the temperature differential. It overshoots, which is what we did, and then then you can adjust it and it levels out. You know, like bipolar, normalizing it. You understand that concept, correct? Modulation? Okay. This is the things I understand. These are the things I've been trying to communicate. But for years, doctors have been acting like there was no damn way I could understand them. I'm not an idiot, but I don't know everything, Dr. Perkowski. You don't know everything. It's impossible for someone who just prescribes medications to then also be the person who's working on my psychology if they don't do it. I've never understood why you have a psychologist and you have a psychiatric doctor. They need to be the same person. And research online has shown that the brilliant minds in these fields believe the same thing. Because you need to see the changes from day to day or what's going on. Now, I waited all this time to drop out the hydrochlorothiazide for the high blood pressure. Because if something starts happening now, then I know why it's happening. As opposed to before. Because I was staggering everything down and slowly tapering it to understand it. And I can tell you right now, when you come down, first there needs to be smaller tablets for Depakote so that we can do that safely. Because when you drop it even 50 milligrams by cutting it, the way it impacts you is so massive. It psychologically messes with you. The tendinous ringing of the PTSD was so intense that if I was suicidal, I'd be dead already. I want you to understand how bad these medications really, really are. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't be used. Maybe they should be. I don't know. But I do know that when I got down to a certain amount, like I think it was close to a couple hundred milligrams of it, taking it alone was causing me to feel bad. I feel pretty fantastic now. Actually, I'm getting to the point, like I've cut sugar, salt, caffeine. Most of the things have been cut on my diet. I haven't been going to eat out much except for going have wings like I like to do occasionally. That's my cheat day. That's the thing I enjoy doing. I go there and have water with it now. I used to have a couple beers. Now I don't even drink beer anymore. I want you to understand that we have a problem with veterans on drugs. We have a problem with veterans who are using heavy drugs and they're trying to cope with issues. These medications can actually cause them to want to do that more. Because it was making a person who didn't drink. Now, I am a medical cannabis patient, and I have been for many, many years. And I've always done it legally, and I've always followed the law, and I've always had a prescription. But it has been used against me in the VA for years. Now, the VA is a federal/state program because we live in a union, right? So they have to fix it so that it works as well as it can be. Do you know I was starting to hate Illinois because of what was continuing to happening to me here? Because it started immediately. I was starting to hate Illinois. When I started getting better, because I didn't hold against the Peoria Police Department what happened to me, they guided me to the... And I learned about the bike pass, and now I'm able to live. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live my life, but I cannot allow this to continue to happen to veterans. And it's not like I don't understand the problem, because veterans were soldiers once too. It's the same type of societal ecosystem as it is in the civilian world. It's just a little different, right? I'm a scientist, engineer. I do a lot of different things, but I'm also a veteran. I'm also partially an athlete. I'm also partially a lot of other things. I do art. I do a lot of different things. I bought a video game console multiple times over the last 9 years, trying to find a way to help myself. I can't stand video games. I don't like video games. I'm not a video game person. I'd rather sit in front of my computer for hours making complicated 3D models or writing code. If I could do it consistently, I would probably do that, try to figure out a way to integrate that into my life as work. But I need to not forget to take care of myself, because I don't want what happened to me over the last 9 years, the conditioning of this abuse, to continue. So I have to fix it. And the only way I can fix myself is to continue to be able to do it, right? You guys need to advocate for me for getting my stretching services paid for, getting the extra equipment and things I need paid for. Once I get 100%, then I can start getting my dental. I can start getting a lot of different benefits that a 100% veteran can get. I'm not a lazy slouch. And at the last thing you want to do is take a veteran like me and then work against him from getting his disability. The VA should be helping veterans get their disability, because it's the VA. You guys like to separate VBA and VHA, but we can't do that. It's the same thing. The disability is medication, if you guys didn't know that, right? Getting a veteran at 100% might fix a lot of the problems you're trying to fix with medication and therapy. It might fix a bunch of problems. And trying to shrug our responsibilities. But I tried doing this right for 9 years. I tried not having to record you guys. I don't want to record. I want to be able to never have to record again. I don't want to do it. I don't want to post this stuff online because I love my country. And I know that destroying the VA, destroying the politicians, is not going to fix the problem. because they don't know everything. They can't be aware of everything going on all of the time, right? So I'm getting off these medications. I'm hopefully gonna stop using lidocaine less, because I think if I can maintain the stretching and the chiropractic and massage therapy with all the activities I'm doing and the way I'm eating, uh, uh, Ambien may be the only major medication you need to prescribe to me. And it seems to cutting one tablet in half at night, swallowing one half with my allergy medication, and then putting one underneath my tongue, the other half on my tongue, and letting it dissolve, and then rinsing my mouth out with water, seems to help me go to sleep better. I don't sleep full nights like I would like to, but then my gauge for how much sleep I need is broken, because I've been having manic depression episodes because of this medication. And then when I was trying to level out, then I would have another appointment with the VA trying to get them to fix it, and which would trigger me again. Every time someone in the VA calls the suicide network to call me, to bother me, to save my life, it triggers me. And every time I go through a little bit of internal triggering, this happened after Dr. Barwise. My testicles tingle, right? It was way, 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 way worse up until recently, the last couple months, when I've started getting the medication out of me and I started being able to control it. If Elon Musk hadn't bought Twitter and turned it into an X and gave me that avenue to get the help I needed, I would be really messed up right now. Now, I went through some shit because I had to get investigated too, right? Everybody needed to make sure that Jason wasn't the crazy, insane lunatic that was being sold for the last 9 years. So I've gone through a lot of torture and abuse because at the end of the day, you need to be safe. Your family needs to be safe. And if veterans are being abused and talking shit about the government and hate the country, the last thing people are going to want to do is enlist. And I'm fighting my urge to attack every post because everybody's starting to realize what I'm saying, so they're marketing to fix it, but nobody's coming back to Jason to fix the problem. We should have an emergency response team. I posted that today. The VA already knows about it. Government already knows about it. Because I paid for X just so I could tag everybody. I couldn't tag anybody before. I had to pay for a subscription to X for therapy, to be able to contact my representatives in a way so that I could be studied, so that everybody can understand whether or not Jason was cray-cray, or if Jason was just trying to get off the medication and help them understand why this all happened in the first place. When you mess with somebody's head like that, it actually causes a problem, right? It causes a problem in their mind where everything feels like a conspiracy. They may or may never have known, and then it triggers a paranoia. And then because they don't understand what's going on, the puzzle pieces are bigger and we don't have all the information, then they start to react out. Veterans are seeing war, they're seeing all this crazy shit going on around the world, they're seeing it going on in their own country. So I'm sorry, but we all have PTSD because our training is being triggered. Because we're like, danger, danger, danger. We enlisted for a reason. And you guys need to remember.
I still need to start wrapping things up at this point.
That's what I don't like, Dr. Perkowski. 30 minutes. Okay?
Right. That's all they give me.
Do you understand?
Medications.
Okay. Do you understand, though? So what Dr. Perkowski is saying right now is that it's the government's fault. And he's aiding and abetting the government into killing veterans. Dr. Perkowski is telling everybody that because he doesn't have enough time, that it's okay that he's not verifying diagnoses and listening to his patients' wishes and hurting them and killing them. And they always try to run away. This is classic scammer behavior. We got a fucking problem. Do you I'm still waiting for somebody to go out of their way to help me, which hasn't happened yet. I'm still waiting for a real, heartfelt apology, which has never happened yet. I'm waiting for the appropriate response to what's been going on. Because I've been taking medication and I lost my life for 9 years. And nobody seems to fucking care. And think about what that's doing to me inside.
I'm sorry that you went through all this.
Yeah, you should be. But are you doing something on your end to correct it? Because that's the goal. I need you to call, send messages, do whatever you need to do to try to resolve the problem on your end. That's why they have the whistleblower hotline. That's why you have congressmen. That's why you have senators. It's why you have all these other avenues at your disposal. You're not in a non-compete with the VA to not save a veteran's life if it's in danger, the proper way, especially if you know that a wrong has been happening for all these years. So I understand you need to go to the next veteran, but I'm helping the next veteran by telling you this stuff because, Dr. Perkowski, I had to start recording for a reason. And I want to stop recording. I don't want to ever record again. Once my problem's resolved and I know that I'm part of the solution and I'm fixing it for real, then I won't need to record anymore. Unless I'm the guy hired to evaluate doctors and investigate the VA undercover to figure out what the hell is going on. Because I would sure to hell do that. And I would train an entire team of veterans to go into the VA under assumed identities so that they go in as a veteran and they don't have to fly a false flag so that we could catch every doctor who's doing it and every nurse and every provider in the VA. Because even one in Colorado, when I was trying to ask him for help, Christopher Hutchinson, I'll never forget his name. I'll never forget him going, ha 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 ha, yeah, I remember you. Right? So I was being judged on something that you guys didn't even understand. And I put up with that shit for 9 years. This is me coming out swinging. Okay? So, whenever you guys are ready to apologize the proper way, let me know. Until then, I'm going to keep recording. And if I decide that it's necessary to put it online, I'm going to put it online and pass it out in QR codes. If I feel like it's necessary. I don't want to do that. So please, Dr. Perkowski, I'm asking you, and I'm begging you, to do the right thing and make sure it happens right. If it's not already happening on your end. Do we understand each other? Okay.
You brought up therapy. I could refer you to a psychologist if you want that. And I think that would be a good idea because my role, like I said, is...
This part is where Dr. Perkowski is trying to convince me to get therapy in the VA, where they can control the situation again. I've already given them this opportunity multiple times over the years. Even right after it happened to me in Colorado. Mark Stallnaker, the guy who's in charge, which at the time was in charge of inpatients or outpatient psychology. They sent me to the VA, to a doctor, a psychologist in the VA, to help me with the situation where the VA abused me, and they covered it up. Now, I've been struggling for 9 years because I've been getting gaslit and shoved hallucinogens in my fucking head for a condition I didn't have. And the VA's been controlling it every step of the way. And when I go to my congressman or the VA OIG, they call the VA, they go to ask the VA sends them a bullshit letter, and then they send it to me and say, see, here's they're working on it. That's why nothing ever gets fixed.
It's predominantly only the medications.
Well, the problem is I go to the VA and the VA doesn't want to acknowledge abuse from the VA. It's why I had to go the route I went, Dr. Perkowski. Because when I went, I think his name's Dr. Foskett, he's a psychologist at the clinic. When I went to him years ago, when I first went to him, brought all the documentation to try to get him to help me with the situation. I'm not allowed to, you could walk into my office carrying a gun, dripping of blood, and tell me you just killed somebody, and I couldn't tell anybody. I can only call when it's a child or an elderly person. Well, you know what? Disabled people are on that list as well. And I am a disabled veteran. And I'm also an American who has medical rights who has been getting abused. I have medical rights. I have the right to refuse care, which I was never given, which is also something you did to me. Okay?
And would you like to try another psychologist, I guess?
I don't know. Because I have anxiety just waiting to talk to any of my providers. I have to go talk to Welsh again, right? Joe Welsh. I have to go talk to him about this rescue inhaler to give him an update about what I've learned through this discovery. Right? I'm having to go through basically all of the steps of being an addict who got clean for a drug problem I never got myself into. Right? Right? You guys forced drugs onto me. Not you. The system, the way the VA designed everything, forced drugs onto me and got me addicted, messed me up, destroyed my entire family life. Family disowned me. I had to hear my sister, who I was the closest person in the world growing up with as a kid, say that she didn't care about me anymore. And I had to see my mother for the last time. You guys can't fucking fix that. So eventually I'm going to fill out Form 95. It's coming. I'm going to have all the data. I'm going to have all the evidence. But you've been collecting my blood because I've been making you collect my blood, and I want you to do it again. My Dalprovex level's really low, right? Right? It's low because I don't have any in me because I don't need it. Now, we have recordings and talk where you and I are discussing this, and you're trying to increase my Dalprovex level. Trying to teach you something that you cannot learn any other way, Dr. Perkowski. Right? Pills are a gun. Your doctor's license is a gun. Your doctor's license is a weapon that you're using to kill veterans with. If you use it haphazardly. Otherwise, if you use it safely, it's good. If you don't, it's a deadly weapon. So the rules apply to doctors as well. Your doctor badge does not protect you, Dr. Perkowski. I need you to understand. Do you understand? Yeah,
Yes, I understand.
You understand.
I need to wrap this thing up at this point, but think about the psychologist. Since my role with the medications, I'm going to stretch out the next appointment to 3 months.
No.
Think about the psychologist.
I need this. So we need the Zolpidem refilled, correct? You're going to renew the order.
Correct.
I want to have my blood. I want to have my blood taken again. I want you to do another panel. I'm going to have Joe take my blood again. I'm getting my blood taken again on a regular basis outside of the VA. Because I'm collecting data so that I can prove that what I'm saying is true. Because you guys made me look like I was a crazy nutbag for years, and nobody wanted to believe me. So now I'm having to plead my case to fucking everybody on the internet, which isn't safe, by the way, for me either. Because I understand all this technology stupid shit, and it's kind of maddening sometimes. You understand? Do you apologize for your part in something you didn't start?
I'm sorry that you went through this.
No. I need to hear from you that I'm sorry for my part.
I'm sorry if I hurt you.
But do you mean it? Look at me like I'm your child. Look at me like I'm your child, and somebody just hurt them, and feel that. Look at somebody you love and you care about. Look at me when you look at. Think about that when you're looking at me. I want you to feel that. That emotion you need to go through, that denial, all that pressure, and all that. I don't want to deal with this part of you. You need to acknowledge it, and maybe you need to get a psychologist as well. Now, if the VA has a reasonable psychologist, I will go see that doctor. Right? If the VA has a reasonable psychologist, a reasonable one. But the second the bullshit starts, if they're reasonable, who do you have that's reasonable? I will interview them and see if they're going to help me. Any psychological manipulation, and I'm going to start posting videos and shit again. I'm going to do this until my situation is fixed. Right? I didn't get my disability. I've been starved out financially from not getting my disability for years. I was so messed up from what the VA did to me, I could not reapply in time to meet the appeal process. because of the VA. And then the VA was forcing me to apply for a condition that I didn't have, which wasn't real in the first place. The PTSD, the problem I have right now, is the VA's fault. You guys need to acknowledge it. You need to understand it. Secretary McDough will be seeing this video. I'm going to make sure that he gets tagged in again because I know he's watching them. Because everybody's in oh shit mode like you. Understand? Everybody's in oh shit mode. That's what's going on. We fucked up. I understand. I'm dragging it out on purpose, Dr. Perkowski, because I need you to hear me. I'm glad you're having a good day. Okay, take care. Bye.